Hope everyone is doing good. Guys, a couple of things that just happened right now. So, President Trump just met with a bunch of local leaders in Los Angeles to talk about the wildfires. And boy, did there were some moments that got heated. And I'm not talking about the fire, I'm talking about the conversation. And it was just really, really good stuff. So, I want to play a couple of my favorite clips. This had just ended, but it's so, so good. So first off, I do want to start off by talking about this exchange when President Trump just landed in Los Angeles, and Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, was just waiting for him. So there's this quick 2-minute clip that I want to share, and I think it's really, really important. So check this out. I love something that President Trump says towards the end here, and I just think it is important because the reporter asked President Trump, like, "Hey, you guys disagreed a lot over the past couple of pretty much the past 2 weeks. What happens moving forward?" And I love what President Trump says here. So check this out.
They left them high and dry, and now we're going to be taking a little tour with some of the people from the area. I appreciate the governor coming out and meeting me, Kevin. Thank you very much. And we'll be talking a little bit. We want to get it fixed. We want to get the problem fixed. And there'll be some ways, but it's like you got hit by a bomb, right? Yeah. Like you got hit by a bomb. Would you like to say?
Most importantly, thank you for being here. It means a great deal to all of us. Not just the folks in Palisades, the folks in Altadena that were devastated. We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help. You were there for us during COVID. I don't forget that. And I have all the expectations that we'll be able to work together to get this speedy recovery.
We got to get it done. Tremendous numbers of lives have been affected. A lot of real estate's been affected. Nobody's ever probably seen anything like this. You can almost say since the Second World War, when you think of it. I mean, nothing like this has happened. And we're going to get it fixed, so we'll get it permanently fixed, so it can't happen again. And again, we'll be talking a little bit later, and we're going to work out, okay?
I appreciate it, Mr. President.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Both of you have disagreed a lot over the past week over what has happened in this state. How do you plan to?
We got to get it finished. We're looking to get something completed. And the way you get it completed is to work together. It's the governor of the state. And we're going to get it completed. They're going to need a lot of federal help. Unless you don't need any, which should be okay.
We're going to need a lot of federal help.
So,
He is so funny. Unless you don't need it. No, we're going to need a lot of federal help. Please. Okay, so there's so many things I love about this. For one, President Trump talked about we got to get it fixed. We got to get it fixed. And that happens by working together. But I don't know if you caught that, but he says, I want to get it permanently fixed. So this doesn't happen again. So this goes into a conversation that we had a couple of days ago about with Speaker Johnson talking about how there needs to be conditions with the money that's being sent to California. And I believe President Trump was talking about, voter ID and making sure that water is actually flowing through the state. So that's what I think he's talking about whenever he mentions that he wants to get this permanently fixed so this doesn't happen again. And on Gavin Newsom's post, whenever he was meeting with President Trump, one of the top comments here says, "I'm all for this country uniting. Let's do this." But Trump is right. You have to get your house in order. And I really wanted to share this just because I love the language here. Oh, and look at this. I wasn't even expecting to see this, but Joel's top comment here says voter ID is non-negotiable. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Okay, so now I want to talk about here. This was live from the Palisades. And so President Trump and the mayor really go back and forth here. And this just happened. So this is super fresh, but I want to go ahead and play a couple of the clips here, right? Jacob out here sharing the clip. He writes, President Trump and Mayor Karen Bass have a back and forth about the permitting process. And this gets really heated, but I love it so much because that's how you get things done. All right, check this out.
Much appreciated. Let me also say that I know you had an opportunity to see the devastation. You've seen the extreme loss, the grief that people are going through here. And we are 100% committed to getting this neighborhood rebuilt again. You mentioned a couple of things in terms of us expediting. So I signed executive directives right away so that we could cut the red tape. We could get people back building as fast as possible. And we're going to continue doing that.
Mayor, the one thing is they
Yes.
are saying they will not be allowed to start for 18 months.
No, that will not be the case.
Okay, I just hope
That
you're
will
right.
not, you can hold me to it.
Because 4 groups said that.
No,
That would be, they should
No,
be able to
that-
do it. They should be able to start tonight.
that will not be the case. You know, first we have to take care, to make sure that there's not getting rid of the hazardous waste, cleaning things up so that people can start right away. And just like you said, if somebody had their house was destroyed and they're going to rebuild essentially the same, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit higher, they really shouldn't have to go through much of a process. So I want you to know that we are expediting that. We absolutely need your help. We need the federal help. You're a
You got it.
builder.
I told you. You will have no permit problem. There will be 0 delay. And as far as I'm concerned, you already have the permits. But
And the resource.
I am
I love, she just said, and the resources. Please, let's not forget about the money. So that was a pretty good introduction to the conversation. But things get way more intense in this clip shared by Kevin Daughtery. And this is really, really good. Okay, this is a longer clip, but I think it shows how passionate President Trump is, as well as the mayor is, on expediting this process and getting people back on safe ground. So check this out.
6 months is no
Exactly.
good.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And you know, we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. We want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't
Yes,
cost
and
a
they
lot.
can.
You
and
should
they are
let them
able
do
to-
it because
No,
by the
they
time you
can do
hire
that.
contractors, it's
Right.
going to be 2 years.
If a
The
family.
people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can.
There's
do
not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours. And that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract
If
that's going to
individuals
charge him
want to build-
$25,000 to do his lot. I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked,
signed
I
an
mean, you have a
emergency
very powerful
declaration.
emergency power, and you
Yes.
can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important
week
thing
is
is
a
for
long
people to
time.
be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing. And I say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit. And the permit's going to take them. Everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months.
Last night.
And that was last night.
On that. Right.
Mr. President,
This is so good. Jeez, the amount of pressure that President Trump right now is applying to Karen Bass is so good. It's almost like he's squeezing he's not just squeezing the answers out of her, but he's putting so much pressure on her that she does the right thing, and she's making this a public declaration, almost like these public promises. So she's going to be held accountable, and I think that's just incredible. Are you kidding me? This is so good. It's all like this is another incredible clip. Benny Johnson, he says this. Trump shames Democrat leaders to their faces for failing the people they serve. All right, so check this out. This is a minute clip, but it is incredible. Okay. Also, I'm sharing all of these in chronological order. So, yeah, these are pretty much the highlights. Okay.
That the merit shouldn't be heard, but we need to hear them and we need to move on, resolve them.
Is this a state group, state or federal group?
This is a local group, actually, Mr. President, but they have help from the state.
They use the environment to make themselves feel good, and they're destroying our country. And you've got to, at some point, you've got to put your foot down. I know exactly what you're talking. You have local and state groups, and you have federal groups too. And you got to fight them the right way, because you'll never, even if the mayor gives, you're going to have a local group come in and sue. You're not allowed to go on your property. They're going to talk about asbestos and every other thing. They want to go on their property and they want to clean out their property. And you cannot let anything get in their way. And you'll have this place built up quickly, beautiful. It'll be more beautiful than before. And I would do one other thing. I'd give them a 10%, 15% bonus on their house, because they went through hell, and they should be allowed to build a little bit, give them a little bit lot line bonus, give them a bonus on size, maybe
That they should.
Come on. Are you kidding me? Everyone in California, that should, like, yes, this is a devastating loss. Okay, absolutely unimaginable, absolutely unthinkable. Of course, you cannot replace the things that are gone. Okay, I hear you. But for President Trump to suggest in front of the entire country and in front of all of the local leaders, including the mayor, for him to suggest that all of these people who've lost their homes should be getting like a 15% bonus on top of their losses, that's good. Okay, that's using federal resources for the people. Okay, come on. I just think it is just so good. And again, we're seeing the pressure. President Trump out here saying that you just got to put your foot down. Here's a glimpse at some of the comments here. Right. One person says that they desperately need them, so they have to listen to him. Another person says Trump is the boss. Speak the truth and get it down. Oh man, I'm not going to continue reading that. Jeez. Lori says, awesome. It's like when Reagan ashamed the educators. Rachel says, I hope Californians are watching this, but the government probably has it blocked. No, I believe this is a local TV. It's a local cable, but nonetheless, this was also streamed via live from Fox News, so almost no excuses. And speaking of that, I do want to say, I want to share one other clip. Actually, that's a lie. Two other clips. Okay, I love the sense of urgency that President Trump displays right here. I saw this from Trump War Room. Okay, check this out. He says, 10 years? No, not 10 years. We want this done in 10 days. Check this out.
Because we're going to essentially waive all federal permits. We're going to have you go very quickly, because a federal permit can take 10 years. We're not going to do that. We don't want to take 10 days. I would. So we're declaring this a national emergency. By doing that, I can give you immediate permits. I'd ask that the local.
You know what bothers me, like with all this? Because for one, I've seen, I think, more media from President Trump and pretty much just his entire administration in general. I've seen more media from this administration than in the past week, in the past handful of days, than I have seen throughout Biden's entire administration. That is depressing. The lack of transparency, the lack of communication, the lack of just presence that I saw from Biden's administration, absolutely despicable. And I'm like, today I was thinking about how Kamala Harris, as soon as she got near her vice presidential plane, as soon as she was like, whenever she was campaigning, she completely bypassed the press. The press was screaming at her like, "Hey, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? Like, what are your thoughts here? What's your response to this scenario?" And Kamala Harris just completely ignoring everyone, just walking up her little runway to the plane, and complete radio silence. And I just have to believe, I don't care what anyone tells me. I have to believe that that if Kamala Harris won, we would have gotten the same amount of media and the same presence that we saw from the Biden administration. She would have been radio silent. And the only press conferences you'd see, everyone would be reading from a script. Okay. So the fact that this is just raw, transparent, and unfiltered, I love it. You kidding?
Permitting process be the same. Some of the people were saying they're going to be forced to wait 18 months for their permits, and I don't think you're going to do that. I can't imagine that. So they are literally in a position right now. They'd like to start tonight, and they'll clean their site. They'll do everything. They just want to start, and they were very concerned with the 18 months. So I'm sure you can get it down to, I would say, not even 18 days. They are ready, Mayor. They are ready to start because
he is so good. He is so good at applying pressure. It's incredible. And now the last thing I want to share is this is from Fox News from the live stream, and it's pretty much just his closing message, okay? Because he was just displaying so much empathy, and everyone is always like, "Oh my gosh, I never see empathy from the president." And I'm like, first off, I think the most clear empathy that I see from President Trump is his presence, okay? Because granted, Biden was still president when all this was happening, okay? And what did we hear from him? Zip. All right. So check this out.
who we want to do it, whether we want a commission or an individual. You know, if you have a good individual, if you have a really good individual, and they are rare, but if you have a really good individual, it's always better than a commission, because a commission gets bogged down a little bit, Daryl, right? So it's if you had the right individual, and I know we do. We have a lot of great individuals in this community, but it's an honor to be with you. It was an honor to be with your firemen before and your policemen. We met some great people, and these are people that are leaders, and they're just fantastic. It's a fantastic group of people, and they were very brave. I want to tell you, your fire people are so well thought of. You had big fires, and it was hard to put them out, but boy, were they brave. They were really fighting against a tough thing, and everybody in the country knows it. Everybody in the country knows it. And it was an honor to be with you. So I'll be back, and we'll work very hard. And I hope you guys can start doing your cleanup starting like tomorrow or at around 12 o'clock, okay? Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Brad.
Come on. Come on. This is so good. He's coming back. He put pressure in the right spots. He instilled an incredible amount of urgency in this situation. And most importantly, he's there. He's there for the people of Los Angeles. He let that be clear. And he shared that he is going to be using federal resources to help that community. And he's ready to help them rebuild. And he believes in just a newer, better Los Angeles. And I just think this is great. I saw this today, and I just really, really want to echo this. I talked about this the other day, actually saying that I'm happy that President Trump lost. Right, I shared that a couple of days ago. I'm happy that he lost because the people that he chose to surround himself with in this new administration, and really, I believe the person that he became, the the way that he developed his framework, and just even down his cabinet picks, like it's all like leaps and bounds better, right? So I love that this person wrote, the Trump that we are getting now in 2025 is leaps and bounds better than what we would have gotten in 2021. Okay. And I just completely agree. Anyways, that's the whole conversation. I loved it. We saw a lot of good stuff today. We saw President Trump hanging out with Gavin Newsom. We got to see kind of a little pretty good exchange there. And you know what? Just right now I'm thinking like, oh, Gavin Newsom posted this. Why'd he blur out Fox News? Why are you ashamed of Fox News here? It makes no sense. All right. And you know, I had a quick and I had another idea. So, whenever I was watching this, it was, yeah, here it is. It was like, why do we use these like party identifiers to identify people? Like, isn't Governor Gavin Newsom enough? And put the state right there. Why do you need to put the D? All right. I tweeted this today saying news outlets should stop including people's party identification because in today's culture, all it does is promote more bias than it provides context. Okay, can we do that? Like, I think that's a good first step in kind of trying to eliminate this sort of and to eliminate party identifiers, and I really think that'll bring us way more together. But anyways, let me know what you think about some of let me let me know what you think about this whole conversation that we had today. Let me know what you think about President Trump really just being there, boots on the ground in California, surrounded by their leadership, and just having a very open and transparent conversation in front of the entire nation from Palisades. Okay, I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm happy. I think this is that positive, and I'm just happy to have a president again. All right, this is a good feeling. Okay, let me know what you think about this, and I will see you all next time. Hope you have a great and wonderful day. Episode's over already. Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.